up the volume, pump up the volume. You say Redeemer full of culture, y'all. Check this out.
Hi, welcome to Ghetto Gallery.
We're standing in a graffiti thoroughfare here that's really well known in Sydney's inner west, and it's called May Lane.
This area is actually dedicated to graffiti. The local residents and the council have given permission for graffiti artists to paint along the garages and the laneways.
So we're going to take you on a tour of this outdoor gallery and show you some of the standout pieces that are currently up on the walls.
This is actually in the beginning of May Lane, and what a great scene it is to come into. We're looking at something that all of the artists have to do before coming here, and that's actually putting their work on paper. PK is actually bringing us into his home, and I'm assuming that these are his kids, but we've also got books here, his kids' drawings. Also, like, the kids are actually learning what he's actually doing. He's even got a cup of coffee and some pens. And around the corner you'll see we've got more of his books showing his Hispanic heritage, which is a great sort of all-encompassing picture of his life.
May Lane and the adjoining side streets have become a public outdoor exhibition space that's updated regularly by some of the finest artists in Sydney's street art scene. It began in 2005 by a local resident by the name of Tuggy Ballas, and I do apologise if I've got that name pronounced incorrect. What he did is put up panels at the back of his shop and allowed artists to come in and paint them, but it didn't take long for artists to really claim the entire space, putting up their pieces and tags and different bits of art on every square inch that you can find. As you can see, the walls are completely covered, and so are the actual street, the road itself. It's covered in tags.
This is a very interesting piece of work right here. What I like a lot about it is it takes up a lot of space. It actually uses its space to the very edges of it. Like, every little square inch it has, it takes up. The other thing too, it's like a straight flat work of colour. And you can see that the colours that they use are really quite odd, which makes it stand out, but it's a little bit of an eyesore at first. When you look at it, it's just like splat, and especially when the sun's hitting it, it's just bright, and it makes you even wonder if there's anything really on it. But when you start looking at the typography of it, it's actually quite clever, and it's actually quite decadent as well. It really exaggerates a lot of it. And I'm going to start over here with the A. And the reason why it's interesting is that the A really pretty much starts and ends here. But then we have this whole excessive bit right here. And with these little sort of folds and bends in it, it kind of reminds me of Dr. Seuss a little bit. But when you take a look, the A is really just down here, and all this extra is just sort of decadence and enjoying sort of a bit of gluttony of space, you know, just take up as much space as you can. And we move along, you'll notice that there's an M over here as well. And anything above it doesn't really need to be there. And I think that's the beauty of it. And what I really enjoyed about this piece is that it took me a while to figure out what it actually said. And that's what made it fun, because I had to try and decipher it. Over here, you'll notice that it's a U. And as we move across, we've got a very old school kind of C, right here, and a K. It's right down here. And if you notice, the whole word amok is actually just down here, but everything goes above it, like it's extra. And it kind of suits the actual word amok as well. It's running amok. The
suburb of St Peters has a remarkable amount of graffiti. All the blank walls and abandoned spaces have got a lot of throw-ups and tags. Some are done well, others not so well. But here in May Lane, you'll find mostly contemporary style with hip-hop lettering, paste-ups, stencils, and a lot more of a fine art influence coming into the works with abstract themes as well. It's quite a well-known space and is really one of the most diverse, interesting, creative hubs in the Sydney street art scene.
This place used to get tagged and demolished time after time, and the owner got really sick and tired of it. And the police actually told her to get a proper graffiti artist to do a piece just for her. And as you can see, it's very different to anything else around here. It's got these patterns, this kind of hippie kind of feel, but you can see that it actually is all spray can work. Even the lines across and the color across this face is really quite unique. The pose here, it is sort of claiming territory. If you notice too, it's transparent except for her flesh, which isn't, so making her part of the wall.
There is tags put right along this street, as you can see, and that's not allowed. The council don't like it. So every now and then they come along and repaint the whole street to black again. But what's funny about that is they're actually creating a whole fresh canvas for artists to come in and tag it right up straight away. And that can happen within a matter of hours, if not minutes. Particularly in this spot that we're standing right here, this wall and this wall are getting painted over really regularly. And that means something like maybe 3 or 4 artists can put up a piece within one day, or something like 10 times a week. New works are getting put up, so it's a really constantly evolving area.
Shh, baby's sleeping. I love this, it's so good. The black, it's kind of disturbing actually. The black and the patterns around it, and which goes along with the rest of the walls around here, so much chaos and darkness. And in the middle of it we have this blue sleeping baby. And blue being the color of like melancholy and sadness almost, you know. I love it because it brings up so many ideas and thoughts.